All right, let me tell you today the most important thing other than the budget itself. Let's get into it. All right, everybody, I'm going to share with you today what is the most important part of a budget other than the budget itself in just a second. So let's get myself all set up here. You got your budget all good. You're doing paycheck to paycheck or monthly. I don't care if it's 2 paychecks, 5 paychecks. You got it all mapped out and you still end the month behind. Can be so frustrating. And so what I, have done to fill the gap, and there's a few ways to do it, is I do a monthly budget closeout. This is huge, absolutely monumental. It really has changed the game for me. It's given me a time to actually reflect on what happened the month before and adjust things. So let's go straight into it. And this is my monthly budget. And I'm going to show you where I find downfalls, how I fix it, so I'm more and more successful every single month. This is it, the closeout. I got you zoomed in because this is the most important key element that you do not want to miss, the closeout of a budget. Look it's just like reading a book. That final chapter finally revealing who the villain is, who the triumpher is. You've waited that whole time and all that investment to figure it out, and it gives you this aha moment at the end. It's the same with the closeout of a budget. You can have a really well-crafted budget, but if you don't have it all kind of closed out and figured out and reassessed for the next month, that's when things can sneak in and sneak up on us. So let's make sure it doesn't happen and close out well, so that we can actually just do better and better every single month in our budgeting. All right, so I went ahead and, again, this is for all my bills. And these are all what I budgeted for at the beginning of the month. So I don't care if you budget once a month, if you have 4 paychecks or 24 paychecks, you're going to want to at least do this one time a month where you get all your budgeted. Then I went ahead and went to my bank account and did my actual numbers of my bills, actually how much it costed me, and if anything was short or over. As you can see here, I did extra in tithing, mostly because I had extra income, and I had extra in groceries, not much, but there. And I saved $415 in gasoline, mostly because we've been sick all of January and didn't go anywhere. So there's that. This extra pay came from my husband got a gas check from work, but also from a bunch of side hustles that I do, and all that money that we saved on the gasoline. All that together gave us that extra $1,291. Look at where you can pull money from. Being frugal in your groceries, being frugal in your gasoline, maybe cutting back on some of your cable bill, giving those a call on your insurance bills, things like that, so you can gain that money back and put it into other things. All right, once this is done, and this is probably one of the most refining parts of a budget if you're brand new, this will help you know if you budgeted correctly, and if not, if you're really off, make sure you put a notation here for your next month's budget so that you can change the amount that you budget at the beginning of the month. Let me say that again, because this is a very important part. Make sure you put something here to give yourself a reminder so that when you budget next month, you change the amount of that budget amount. That way you're never going up and down every month, and it should pretty much look perfect all the time unless weird things like being sick all of January, which is what happened to me, or an emergency pops up. Okay, so there's that. And I went ahead and did the actual and the budgeted amount here. Now we're going to go over to my closeout, okay? Now, for my weekly check-ins, that's where I got my groceries and gasoline and extra money. These are my weak spot. Put your weak spots here, whatever that is. Extra means spending or whatever else comes up. And I went ahead and went over on my gasoline. I have extra money. That's why it's green. Over is red. I have less money. Green is I have more money. 335. And then actually this should be red. I'm not sure why I put it in green. I spent an extra 420 on some emergencies that popped up. Okay. So there is that. That's my check-in. And that's what I use to put on my budget. And it's also what I use to kind of get myself refocused. When I was doing pretty good and then this emergency happened here, I made sure the last week no spending whatsoever and just cut everything out. That's important to do as you go along. But I think what the biggest thing here for me is a good overview. And this is what I'm going to show you here. Let me see if I can kind of give it to you one at a time so it makes more sense. Okay. So I did my bills on that other page. This is my debt snowball, my cash envelope, and my sinking funds. I had allotted for these and planned for the certain amounts at the beginning of the month. That was along with my monthly budget. I have a page on that. These are what I actually ended up spending. So I went to my paycheck breakdown. I do 3 cash stuffings, and that's all of these combined. I added them together. So my 3 cash stuffings, how much I cash stuff in total, right here. Okay. So if you only do one time a month, then you just look at what you actually did and put it here. If you do a few times a month, add them together and put it here. Okay. So let's start with my income and go through it really quick. My income was budgeted for $11,200. I actually did $12,491. It's green because I had an extra $21.98. So green is I have extra, red is that it's gone, it's over, I don't have it, okay? It's bad. My budget amount for my bills were $8,617, but I actually only spent $8,243 because of the gas. I had $374 left. Okay. So next I have my debt snowball. I planned for $1,658. This is the only one that probably makes people confused, but go with me. I actually paid $2,438, so I paid an extra $780. Now, normally paying anything extra would be bad, but because it's my debt snowball, this is paying off debt. It's positive. It's a good thing. So I like to keep it in green so that I can visually see that good things are happening in that area. All right, my cash envelopes. I planned for $315. I actually was able to put $320 in, a little extra, so $5 extra was able to be put there. My sinking funds, which I'm working really hard to get fully funded more quickly this year so I can get into some of those longer term sinking funds that I don't have here. And so I allotted for $310, but I was able to do $390 with some of that extra money. And so I gave an extra $80 to that. Then for my savings challenges, I planned for $300. I was able to do $680 to my long-term sinking funds, and that gave me an extra $380 there. And this is the only area that I didn't do well in was the extra spending because of that emergency. So I didn't a lot for anything, and I spent $420. So as you can see here, $420 is in the red. So I like to do this quickly because if I ever want to look back, I can say, how did I do in January? Well, I was mostly green and with one red, right? Or how did I do last month in my budget? Okay, I had some good extras here and a little bit overs, but nothing needs to be adjusted. This is really going to be easy and quick for when you're planning your budget next month. But there's one last thing I want you to do. I want you to maintain the goals that you've set. Take just a moment, look back at your yearly goals. See, I have a yearly goal breakdown, and you can find this at my, on the link down below or at my website, the Lime and Joy Company. I have to remember that I'm trying to increase my cash flow. Did I do that? Yep, I did that. My debt snowball? Yep, I did that. Savings and investing still happening? Yep. Budgeting, I kept on track. I did my weekly check-in. And personal growth, I'm reading my book, but I probably could do better and more about that. So I will keep on pressing into those books and sharing it with you. So I made sure to do that. Now, the last thing I like to do always before I completely end and close on the month is I like to just have a few thoughts and ideas about what is coming up the next month or how the month went and anything I want to change. Because like I said, the goal is get just a little better every single month. I mean, think about if you start in the beginning budgeting, not knowing anything in January, where you'll be in December. Or maybe you started this year, you're pretty good at budgeting closeouts. Okay, well then let's say you are 90% good. What if you finish the year at 100% accuracy, 100% success? That would be just making, next 2025 walking into it just so confident. So here's some of my thoughts. I am doing a no spend upcoming. Let me show you. If you weren't around for it, I haven't posted it yet so I could show you all, but I have planned out, anticipated, I've looked at what's upcoming. I've planned it out, what kind of level I want to do, hard, medium, easy. I thought about the obstacles that are coming up, and I'm ready to do my check-ins and my meal planning, and I have a tracker to keep me motivated along the way. You'll see some shorts coming up and even a video checking in, explain how did it go over with my kids when I shared with them that we're doing a no spend and how it's going so far. I think 4 or 5 days already into February, so I'll share with you how it's going. But yeah, so no spend upcoming. I'm going to post my no spend motivation like I had said before, so it's right in front of me when I get ready every morning in my mirror. And I want to plan events and groceries to set up for myself for success. So that is it. We have done it all. We're all done with the closeout. I'm excited to step into February and really press into this no spend. Like I had said before, this is my very first no spend. I'm both excited and a bit anxious to get into it. I've already hit some little bits of roadblocks where a family member wanted to spend money and I had to say, wait, we're doing a no spend. So we're going to post the reminder that we're in a no spend a little more, kind of everywhere. I will again show you guys some pictures and some updates along the way with that. But I'm already just kind of excited that we're all on the same page moving into it. It'll be a lot easier if your husband or your partner and everybody is on board while you step into it. It makes it a lot easier. All right, I want you guys to find joy in your journey. If you have any questions about this closeout, please put it in the comments below and see you next time.